Partner's running a little late. Shouldn't take him too long to get in. Shouldn't take him that long to get in. Ow. Oh, there he is.
Let's just get this done because I'm about to run late enough as is. I should have known this was going to happen because my friends say, want to play WWE? And I'm like, God fucking damn it. Can you guys wait? Jeez, I got my own things to do. I hardly ever have time for myself, except for this.
Sorry. Anyway, welcome to tonight's MegaMets podcast. We are going to be covering WrestleDream 2024 by AEW from the Tacoma Dome in Tacoma, Washington.
Surprising it's in Washington, of all places.
Kind of makes sense. I mean, Tony said it would take place in the state of Washington every year from here on out or something.
WrestleDream 2024. Hopefully it's a better one than last year.
We'll start with a pre-show match for the Ring of Honor World Television title. I don't know why they didn't say this till Final Battle. Atlantis Jr. of CMLL defends against Brian Cage of the Gates of Agony.
I don't even know why they decided to do that. I don't know why.
A luchador against a powerhouse with a lucha background. Anyone who remembers Cage's time on Lucha Underground would know what I'm talking about.
I miss that show, honestly. I miss it.
You're not the only one. At least it's on Tubi.
Atlantis Jr. faces Brian Cage. This will be an interesting one. Thankfully, it's the only pre-show match because the rest are all on the card.
For now, you know Tony's got a nasty habit of bloating the pre-show card.
Of course Tony Khan has to do this. He got to learn to keep himself under control. Like, not be, like, blowing too much on the card and just stick with it.
I mean, seriously, why do you think Triple H limits the smaller PLE shows to 4 or 5 matches a card and goes 6 to 7 with SummerSlam and WrestleManias? In any case, I'm going to say Atlantis Jr. retains.
I will say the same.
Next up, do we really need Jericho in another low-tier title match? This time he's going back after the Ring of Honor World title, currently held by Old Chicken Mark Briscoe.
That might be difficult. And I thought Jericho should at least consider retiring.
And we all thought his reign with that Ring of Honor World title in 2022 was bad enough. At least that was short term.
Yeah, it was.
Do we really? Tony, didn't you learn from your mistake with this belt in 22? We don't want it on Jericho again. Keep it on Mark Briscoe. Chicken, better man up. Prove you're just as much of a man and worthy of holding that title as your brother was. Rest in peace, Jay Briscoe.
Yes, indeed. God rest his soul.
Your turn.
Okay, I say for the next one is Darby Allin versus Brody. Darby Allin versus Brody King.
This mostly stems because one of the things Darby wants to kick off his bucket list before the year is up is climb Mount Everest. He's put that venture off long enough. Brody has been heavily advising him not to go through with it. I mean, because let's face it, you're not an experienced mountain climber. Climbing that, or even if you are, climbing that thing is a damn death trap. Know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, one of the highest peak in the world, 39,000 feet above sea level, little to no altitude, air to breathe. I mean, seriously, unless you're a fucking Gurkha, you're barely going to be able to survive up there.
Mm-hmm.
Who are you taking?
I think I'll probably choose Darby.
I'll also go Darby.
Good.
Jack Perry putting AEW TNT title on the line against Katsuyori Shibata. I'm going to be blunt. Has Jack really done much with the TNT title other than desecrating it since he won it back in June at the Forbidden Door? Not really.
Not sure.
But then again, I don't follow AEW all that much anymore. After the app that I used to watch TNT got shut down, this was before Max really got off the ground. Watching AEW events is difficult for me. That said, does the wrestler have a puncher's chance tomorrow night? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But can he win this one? I don't know. Jack will take every shortcut possible to hold on to the belt, and it's on that fact alone I'm going to take the scapegoat wins.
No surprise with that.
Who's your pick?
It's between Perry or Shibata. I think I'll vote for Jack retaining.
Okay. Your turn.
Okay, number 5. A 3-way match, or as I like to say, a triple threat for the AEW International Championship. The champion, Will Ospreay, versus Riccochet versus Konosuke Takeshita.
It's Takeshita, but whatever.
Yeah, I always say it that way.
This mostly stems from the fact that Will is fed up of getting mugged by Takeshita. And who's been the one behind it? The piece of shit he allied himself with last year, Don Callis. No surprise there. And why? Because Callis is a fucking parasite, a cancer that AEW desperately needs to cut, at least from the camera.
And a dipstick, more or less.
I mean, there's a reason you could call him the Jackal in the WWE. You could call him Cyrus the Virus in ECW.
Yep.
Or Callis the Phallus in AEW. But mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the foulest of them all? Don Callis. Am I right?
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. While this will be a great high flyers match, it's going to boil down to one other X factor. Kyle Fletcher. Does his loyalty remain with the Don Callis family, or does his loyalty remain with Will Ospreay and the United Empire? If they're going to take the belt off Will, they got to do it tomorrow night, and the logical option to put it on is Takeshita. Ricochet is the odd man out, in my view.
My guess, Ricochet was only along for the ride.
And they're going to have Fletcher turn on Ospreay. They got to do it tomorrow night. I'm taking Takeshita.
I'll also take Takeshita.
Matt and Nicolas Jackson, the Young Bucks, defend against Private Party. Zay and Quen. Do we really need Private Party to be tag champs? I don't think so. I'm giving this to the Young Bucks.
I'm also going to give it to the Young Bucks. They retain.
You're up.
For the AEW Women's World Championship, Mariah May will take on Willow Nightingale. Mariah May is champion.
Nightingale won a four-way women's eliminator on Tile Tuesday to get this match.
Yep. This is a difficult choice, honestly.
Yeah, Mariah is basically showing that killer instinct after basically breaking off from Toni Storm.
That's a relief. Not to mention her match is high up on the card. I'd say that's a good thing.
But how well this will turn out, I don't know.
I want the match to go well. That's what matters.
True. I'm going to let Mariah keep the title at least for a little bit longer.
Yeah, I'll let her retain as well. Hopefully until she can get as far as she can. Then she can lose the championship. And you can get the idea.
Yeah, at best, that happens next month at Full Gear. At worst, in March at Revolution next year.
Yeah.
Or you could say the converse at the soonest / worst Full Gear, at best Revolution.
Yep.
But regardless, I'm bringing the coin out for the next one as it's Hangman Adam Page against returning Last Rock and Rolla, King Switch, Catalyst of Professional Wrestling, Head Honcho of the Bang Bang Gang, Switchblade, Jay White.
This is going to be one hell of a show.
My only conundrum for this is, while I understand why you make Jay White the babyface here after what Hangman did to the Guns, for me, Jay doesn't do his best work as a babyface. He does it best both in ring.
He's better as a heel.
The problem is, Hangman has been proven to be a good psychopath heel over the last year plus. Do I see Swerve showing up to screw Hangman? Perhaps. But just for the interest and fairness and curiosity, if it's heads, Hangman, tails, King Switch. Let's go. Tails, breathe with the Switchblade.
Well, I guess my vote's on the Switchblade as well.
Oh, God. Do we need this tag match?
It's not like there isn't much. It's not like it's for the title or anything.
I know, but is it necessary? You do it.
I don't know. The MXM collection, Mansoor and Mason Madden take on the Acclaimed, Anthony Bowens and Max Caster.
So we basically got two representatives of the LGBT community, mostly because Bowens is gay.
No issue with that.
I
don't really have much. Like I said,
I don't take a lot of umbrage with it at all.
I don't. As long as it makes them happy, it won't matter.
Against basically male models. It's no wonder Triple H cut this gimmick when Mansoor was in the WWE.
No wonder. I think for once, I don't know if it's on the right call or something.
Personally, I think it was. I mean, let's face it. Male models, that was something for Ruthless Aggression era. We're past that.
Yeah, we're past that. It would actually be a bit creepy.
Yeah.
So I'd say Triple H made the right decision cutting it off. Because it just doesn't work now.
Between the two gimmicks, the Acclaimed is the lesser of two evils. Scissor me, daddy ass.
I don't even want to know about that.
Well, it's their catchphrase.
I see.
Because they usually end their little diss raps like, insert name town here, the Acclaim have arrived, scissor me, daddy ass.
Yep.
2 out of 3. Hologram versus the Beast Muertos of a revised La Facción Ingobernable.
Ooh, this might prove to be a fun little match, all right. 2 out of 3 falls. It may prove to be interesting.
And just as a heads up to the audience, this is pretty common in Mexican wrestling, in Lucha Libre, both in the CMLL and AAA ranks.
I see.
I mean, whenever there's a title match in CMLL, it's almost always competed under 2 out of 3 rules.
It always is a 2 out of 3.
Do I expect a lot of
How is this going to go
things?
about this, though? Because it's not going to be like, because I always remember how 2 out of 3 falls would always have some sort of stipulation, like first fall, mono, mono, second fall is like a gimmick, and third fall would be a gimmick too.
Well, not in this case.
Well, this might make it for an even match.
And the way they've been building Hologram up, I'm going to go with him.
That would be an interesting choice.
Would you like to do the honors to close this one out?
Oh, yeah. Very. 1-on-1 for the AEW World Championship. The champion, Bryan Danielson, the Dragon, as it were.
American Dragon.
The American Dragon faces off against his opponent, Jon Moxley. With Marina Shafir in his corner.
Wrestler, former mixed martial artist, competed for Invicta Fighting Championship in the featherweight divisions. She's a Moldovan American. Interesting.
To make it worse, I wonder if Bryan Danielson's still with that gimmick that if you lose, it's over.
Possibly. And of course, we all know Christian Cage is still waiting in the wings with that contract, wanting to cash in whenever he wants it.
Mm-hmm.
They got it all in. Of course, this all stems from what happened at All Out, where after Danielson defeated, who was it he beat it All Out? Let me double check. My memory's starting to rust up a little bit. Jack Perry for the world title. The Blackpool Combat Club essentially turned on him, including a moment where Moxley tried to suffocate Danielson to death by putting a plastic bag over his head. And a la Khmer Rouge death camp style. I wish I was lying about that.
I know. I don't think you should. I don't think you are.
It was just fucking disturbing. But much like with the international title match, there is a linchpin where it could go Moxley's way. The linchpin in question is Wheeler Yuta, as he was the only one not to take part in the beatdown at All Out.
Mm-hmm.
And he's been a bit on the outs with John, Claudio, and Pac.
Yep.
Despite the fact that he, Pac, and Claudio are the trios champs. If Yuta breaks away from the Blackpool Combat Club, this means essentially they'll have to freebird either one, freebird Moxley as the third man of the team, or two, vacate the titles.
Mm-hmm.
But on the other hand, I could see the stress getting to Wheeler where he makes the choice to turn heel, much like Kyle does.
Yep.
But would they really retire Danielson in his home state? I honestly
don't think so.
Think so either. However, would Christian be willing to exploit that? He sure as hell will.
He would. He'd take any advantage if it means getting what he wants.
Which is why I want his neck in a noose when the year is over.
Mm-hmm.
Or for Kill Switch or Mama Wayne or Nick Wayne to turn on once he gets what he wants, which is the AEW World title. Once he gets that, he goes mad and starts treating the rest of the patriarchy even worse than dirt than he normally does. And then Kill Switch becomes Luchasaurus again and flat out kills him. And Nick and Mama Wayne just break away from him. That said, I'm going to go Dragon to retain.
I will also go with Dragon to retain.
But the question is, when will he drop it?
We don't know. That's the thing.
Given the litany of injuries, he's got to drop it by latest World's End in Orlando.
Yeah.
Because I don't see him dropping it at Full Gear when All Elite heads back your way towards Newark. Anyway, I'd like to thank everyone for showing up. That's it for tonight's episode of the MegaMets. We'll probably be back in a couple of weeks when we do our prognostications for TNA's Bound for Glory 2024. Up for that, partner?
Yeah. Provided I'm not distracted with other things.
Okay.
All right.
Then, comment, like, and subscribe. Also, subscribe to the Big Blue Crew Sports Network. Goodbye and good night. Bang.
At least that went well. See you around.
Later.